Moving on to other things, how about COVID, right? COVID, horrible all across the country. But as usual, I want to start right down here in my home state of Florida, where, as we know, our Trump-loving Republican Governor Ron DeSantis has said, and they doubled down again on this on Friday, that any school district that implements a mask mandate, which is a growing number of them at this point, we may cut off your funding. Now, according to reports on Friday, and this really angered me because these reports are totally inaccurate, they said that DeSantis had backed off his claim to cut the salaries of administrators who go along with these mask mandates. Instead, what actually happened was you had DeSantis' spokesperson, Christina Pushaw, who came out and said, we're going to leave it to the school boards to voluntarily give up their salaries for doing this once we cut their funding. So they didn't exactly back off it. They just realized, oh wait, we actually don't have the authority to do it, so we're going to explain how it can be done. But we're still going to cut off your funding, they said. So over the weekend, the Biden administration came out, did the right thing, and said, hold up now. Any school district in the state of Florida, oh, and before I even get into that, Biden actually called some of the districts and thanked them for putting mask mandates in place, so that was a good job as well. Biden is not backing down off this. He is making sure that these people know he has their back. And so after the phone calls, his administration came out and said, anywhere in the state of Florida, if they cut off your funding for having a mask mandate, we got your back and we'll make sure you get the funding. If we have to, we will use some of these COVID emergency funds to fund your school district, to pay your salaries, to do whatever we need to do, because we're not going to let this Florida tyrant tell you to make these horrible decisions that could put your kids in danger. Across the state, in county after county, including counties that defied DeSantis and did put mask mandates in place, we are seeing record numbers of teachers, administrators, and students out with COVID or having to quarantine because of exposure. Broward County, I think the number was 440 out. You also had 4 teachers in Broward County all die last week within hours of each other from COVID. Reopening these schools with no mask mandates at all, no vaccine mandates for teachers or administrators, was one of the biggest mistakes we have seen this state do. You know, last year, they started doing away with the virtual learning, with the distance learning, forcing most people to go brick and mortar. This year, distance learning was not even an option. It was brick and mortar, or you become a full-time homeschooler. And that's why we're seeing so many problems. We didn't have the option. We weren't given a choice. The only choice we have is whether or not we personally send our kids to school wearing a mask, which, yes, I have done. When I drop them off, they have their masks on. When I pick them up, they still have their masks on. I have no idea what happens all throughout the day, though, with those masks. Are they taking it off as soon as I drop them off? Are they putting it on when they see me walking up? I don't know. And I don't know what any of the other children are doing there either, except I do know when I go to pick them up in the afternoon, there's only a handful of kids wearing masks, and I've only seen one staff member wearing a mask when I've gone to pick up my children. One. This situation is about to become so much worse. We're now a full week down. Hundreds of people throughout the state, as a result of exposure at school, either on quarantine or out with COVID. And it's going to get worse as time goes on because we're not protecting our kids. DeSantis said he left the decision up to the parents. Well, the parents aren't making the right decision here. And they're letting their kids get exposed, who then expose other children. All we have to do is have our kids wear masks. They had to do it all throughout the school year last year. Do you know how many problems it caused? None. There were no reports of any child being injured from having to wear a mask. There was not mass hospitalizations because children's oxygen levels dropped due to wearing a mask.
One of our sponsors today is Blue Chew, a unique online service delivering the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. And they're giving my audience an entire month's supply for free. So if you think you could benefit from an extra boost of confidence when it's time, all you have to do is take a short quiz on their website. A licensed doctor approves your prescription. The medication comes straight to your home within days in a discreet package. No driving around to the doctor's office or the pharmacy. No waiting around. No awkward conversations with your doctor. All of Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA. The entire process is just a few clicks. Go to bluechew.com. The link is underneath this video. They'll give you an entire month's supply for free when you use the promo code PACMAN. All you have to do is pay $5 shipping.